lounging, son.
All right, welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and with me, as always, is my bud Dill. I can't come up with cool nicknames like Dylan. I'm too fucking tired. So, yeah. And this week's weekly reads are I'm burnt out. It's been a long fucking week, dude. And, anyways, let's talk comics that'll get me in a better mood so that I can start my day on a better note. So we are going to be talking about Heroes Reborn #5, Crush and Lobo #1, Nice House on the Lake #1, and The Worst Dudes #1. I don't have Worst Dudes to flip through, so when we get to that book, I'm going to have you take the lead because I guess I could pull up the PDF, but let's talk Heroes.
As a PDF, I don't know.
Should we start with Heroes Reborn? I think we've been doing that, right?
Yeah.
I'll read the credits real quick. Obviously, Jason Aaron, this is issue 5, week 5 of us talking about it, so if you don't know by now who the fuck's writing the book,
Jason A.A. Ron.
Yeah, crawl out from that fucking rock you've been hiding under. R.M. Guerra is the artist. I think it's Julia Brusco as a colorist. I think that's how he pronounced it. And then obviously Ed McGuinness, Mark Morales, Matthew Wilson for the backup story. This was the book that, okay, besides the James Stokoe issue, which, James Stokoe's he's an artist that's more recently come to my attention that I've become a fan of. So I was excited for him on the book, but R.M. Guerra from the beginning was the one I was most excited for because I love Scalped. He's the artist on Scalped. He's the artist on The Goddamn. So, and beginning of pandemic, when I interviewed him, he showed me a page from this, and I didn't know what it was. So I was like, Nighthawk? I'm like, what are you doing a Marvel book for? Because it just didn't compute. Why would you do Marvel? It doesn't make sense to me. Right. But obviously, him and Jason Aaron are, they have a very, very close working relationship. This. There's just that synergy that the two of them, once they hooked up with Scalp, it was off and running, right? So
they're Vertigo buddies, bro.
Right. It's just hearing each one of them talk about each other. It's dude, they're meant to work together. It's just it's cool.
They're totally friends.
So Nighthawk is the star of this one. He's kind of the Batman analog, but then again, they also mix a little Spider-Man.
Yeah.
In this world, you know what I mean? So Batman is the analog in terms of DC, but then also since we're in this world with no Avengers, he's kind of taken over some of the Spidey stuff, right? So that was interesting. I think the book was amazingly drawn. I love R.M. Guerra's style so much. It felt
very that Batman noir type of, you know what I mean? It had a very noir Batman feel to it, which I really, really liked.
He captures the noir vibe perfectly. I mean, Scalped is a noir book. I could argue that The Goddamn is prehistoric noir. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's awesome. I love the opening page, too, because, that's the Nighthawk version from... Well, David Walker wrote a Nighthawk book not that long ago, which had that costume, but also the Supreme Power book that J. Michael Straczynski wrote with Gary Frank on art that was part of the Max line when they revamped Supreme Power with a very fucking R-rated style, right? So I thought that was cool that they kind of merged them, and it's Kraven that's dressing up because how he wears the skins of people he hunts, so now he's wearing the Nighthawks, right? So I really dug this story. It's really just fantastic, dude. It was
I've been really satisfied with the re-explanations of these characters, right? Mm-hmm. Jason Aaron is doing a really good job to make these characters way more interesting than I could ever have even imagined. Nighthawk especially. He's a black politician. Black politician turned superhero by night, and then he also has connections to the symbiote, and being a black politician, of course, I love the tie-in with Red Skull / Venom / you know what I mean? I almost thought it was gonna be something. I thought it was gonna be Norman Osborn, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's Jason Aaron is doing a really good job at revitalizing these characters and kind of making them, although they use the analogs for DC characters, these are characters entirely their own, right? Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that. That's something, And that's something you could be like, oh, they're Justice League knockoffs, but they're not. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. If you read the original Squadron Supreme too, like I really think that that's worth reading. I haven't read it in a long time, so maybe
the
it
'80s
would,
one.
yeah, maybe it wouldn't hold up for me now, and I wouldn't take away what I took away from it when I originally read it. I think I read it probably when I was like 13 or 14, because I knew that it was like an important, somewhat of an important Marvel book, you know, in their long history. Like it was widely or critically acclaimed, I believe, and regarded really well. So I read it and I enjoyed it. And then I also read The Supreme Power, which was fucking dope. It was such a good book. Like that, you definitely. I know that one you'll really love. I don't know how you'll feel about the '80s one. And for anybody listening and watching, I would suggest checking out both. But if I were to pick one to recommend that I think more people would enjoy, it would obviously be Supreme Power because it's more modern. And the art by Gary Frank is fucking 10 out of 10. That dude is just, he kills it every time he draws a book.
Yeah, Gary Frank is awesome. I like Gary
Frank. But, you know,
but
with this one, you know, like there's just so many like little callbacks. Like you mentioned, like the Venom Red Skull. Like I love the dialogue of the symbiote in that. But there's also like the Batcave, right? You have Winter Soldier's arm hanging there. You have Silver Samurai's helmet, Elektra's size, Baron Zemo's mask. So it's like this dude is taking all these motherfuckers out, and I just like I love little Easter eggs like that to where if you're not paying attention, like you could completely gloss over, but then on other reads maybe you'll pick it up. Like that to me, that's the fun part about rereading stuff or talking about it again. Like I to be honest with you, I missed it. I'm looking at it as we're talking and I saw it. So I think that the Heroes Reborn has progressively gotten better to me.
Yeah.
As the series has gone on.
I feel bad that I kind of poo-pooed it. Like
I have to admit, me too.
But you know what really killed it for me was when they did the preview shot of Dr. Doomgranat, and I was like, "What?"
Dr. Doomgranat. That's what they should have called him.
Dr. Doomgranat. Why is he wearing a 4-finger ring that says Doom on it?
I mean,
like
this book was easy to. I don't mean to be mean, but this book was easy to judge. You know, contempt prior to investigation because like Marvel is constantly doing events, and lately over the past few years, these events are more miss than hit. You know what I mean? Like they're not sticking the landing. Absolute Carnage didn't stick the landing. Kingdom Black to me didn't stick the landing. Empire I didn't read because I read like a couple pages.
And let's not forget about Contagion.
I did forget about Contagion. You know what I mean? So, but so like it's a pleasant surprise to see an event, but then again, like it is Jason Aaron, so like I kind of had a little bit more faith in it. But again, like there's also editorial has a factor in terms of like these events. So, you know, you have so many things working that can work against an event, but Jason Aaron. I didn't know fully what to expect from this event, especially when I found out, like, oh, okay, there's different artists every issue. Like, what is this then? I don't get it. Is it just a series of one-shots? But he has really created this underlying narrative within the backs of the book. It started in the first issue with the whole first issue was kind of tied in, and then we're going to get that one-shot at the end. This is such a fun book, dude. This is like what I like about events, you know? And while it isn't, you know, 7 issues or 8 issues, however many issues it's going to be once it all wraps up, of one main story, I kind of enjoy this little glimpse into this world because then we are going to get a wrap up at the end. And I think this is the best Jason Aaron that I've been reading since he ended Thor. Because his Avengers 2 to me it's been cool, but it hasn't really been my favorite Avengers. And I think it's because it's just
there's so many good, like in comparison to like all the other people who've written Avengers over the past 20 years. Like it's definitely not my favorite, but it's not bad. It's just
no. You
have people like Hickman and Bendis to compare it to. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's just in the past 20 years. Like, you know, I feel like his Avengers series started off strong and then started to dwindle down. and then picked back up. But this is fresh. This is a very refreshing story, and the way it's structured, like it really makes you care about the Squadron Supreme. So you have to wonder going into the end wrap up, like how it's all really going to play out, especially with everything that we know now with Phil Coulson, Mephisto, and just the general the characters themselves, the actual Squadron Supreme themselves, like Doctor Spectrum and Hyperion, and like and Blur, like I'm really invested in these characters now, and I didn't think I would be going into it. You know what I mean? Like, because in their own right, in their own world, these are the characters I would read, right? If there really were no Avengers, I'd read these guys, right?
Yeah, and it kind of also feels a little Flashpoint, like with Nighthawk being like in the Batman seat of like, oh, maybe this world isn't the way it's supposed to be. Like it feels like he's kind of leaning towards that, and he sees like Cap and he sees the Shield, and so like
is that a
starting
Star-Spangled Shield?
Yeah, it's starting to like reach like the pinnacle of like what the story's gonna be, and like we get Ronin at the end, but it's T'Challa.
Yeah.
It's T'Challa. I was like, that's pretty dope. So I'm here for the series, dude, and I can't wait to like when it's all done to read it all at once. Even though you really could pick up any issue. That's also what's kind of cool, is that each issue is completely somewhat self-contained enough to where you can skip an issue. I mean, I don't recommend it, but you could skip an issue and read it, and it's like you get a full story. Each one is just its own story, like focused on the members. But yeah, I think it's definitely a book worth checking out, for people. And I know we're already 5 issues in; it's almost over. So pick up the trade if you didn't read it.
You gotta love the Ed McGuinness art at the end, dude. Like it's just so classic Ed McGuinness. Like everything about it, right down. Like when he draws T'Challa doing the Panther pose, and I'm just getting flashbacks of like his like of his 90s stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, he's freaking Ed McGuinness, bro.
I know. Yeah, he drew my first Deadpool comic. He drew Deadpool #1 back in the day. So
yeah. But yeah, it's like I definitely suggest people.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fucking awesome book. Go read it. It's the best event book Marvel's done in a very long time. So, Crush and Lobo. Let's talk.
Yeah, let's say Crush and Lobo. Crush and Lobo was actually the last book.
I'll read the credits. Mariko Tamaki, writer. Amanke Nalpan is the artist. Colorist Tamara Bonvillain. Letterer Ariana Mir. So I suggested this for one reason only. I love Lobo.
Man.
It's not much Lobo in this issue, which is not necessarily is it a bad thing. It's Pride Month, so they're doing a lot of stuff in terms of like, LGBTQ stuff, and like I think they have that Pride special that's coming out next week. Crush is gay, so like they're dealing a lot with that, which they don't even really touch on that fact that like, because she's dating this human girl, right? I mean, she's a fucking alien. And the parents, like, they don't play into that. Like, oh, the parents, like, have a problem with her. Like, they're completely cool that she's gay, and they're completely cool that she's dating a fucking alien.
Superhero alien.
Yeah, so it's...
Like that.
So that aspect of it was... I feel like there could have been maybe a little friction on that end that could have created a little bit of conflict, which would have been a little more interesting to me. But they don't... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this book. I don't dislike it, but I also didn't like it as much as I was hoping I was going to like it because of Lobo. Like, Lobo doesn't even come in. What, did you like it?
I liked it more than I thought I would.
Okay.
Like, I kind of had the feeling it was going to be a lot of really Crush heavy, because you and I, like, we know a lot about Lobo, and going into this, like, I'm sure a lot of Lobo fans know a lot about Lobo, but like, going into it, you have to set up kind of like the base for who she is and what she's going throughout the rest of the series, right? Because, like, I mean, I know nothing about Crush. All I know is that she's a member of the Titans in some degree, That's all I know. I haven't been reading Titans. I haven't been anything like that. The only reason why I know she's even in the Titans is because when I'm organizing the comic books, I see her on covers. right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
that's the basic gist of my knowledge of Crush. Like, but going into this is like an introduction into a character to fans of Lobo himself, so that way we can get. This is basically okay. This is what's going on. This is what's happening, and this is Crush, and this is how she's similar to Lobo, but not really, right? So she definitely has that. I like the neurotic spasticness of her.
Mm-hmm.
like,
Oh
like so
yeah, I
she's
mean, she's
like
an interesting character. I mean, I read her in Teen Titans, so like I kind of already knew.
yeah
But yeah, I guess for people that aren't as familiar with her, yeah, for like yourself,
yeah
it's a cool introduction to her. But I just feel like the whole party thing, like I don't see the purpose that it served really. The entire sequence of her at the party, like I feel like that could. This is just my opinion, dude. You know,
mm-hmm,
I'm not
mm-hmm.
I'm not bashing the writing. I don't think the writing's bad. I just feel like we literally have so many pages of her at this party, and it didn't really totally feel necessary to take that many pages to convey this relationship that she has with this girl. So maybe there's something there that will play out later. Like maybe this is all fake. You know what I mean? And like they're
Yeah.
planting. I don't know. But those smiles were like very menacing to me. So for me, like it did. Like I didn't start like really digging the book until Red Arrow comes knocking on Crush's door. Like
Yeah.
that's when I started to enjoy the book. That's why I said I didn't like dislike the book. I just didn't like it as much as I thought I would. Because the first half of the book, it didn't need to be stretched out as much as it was. And
I just have to point out because I'm going through it like as we're talking about it. I love her Aquaman shirt where she's wearing the classic Super Friends Aquaman shirt where he's riding the purple seahorse.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I don't know. To me, I feel like maybe that whole sequence at the beginning was just establishing that she's in a relationship with a girl. I don't know.
Yeah.
That kind of I as I'm looking through that, I kind of feel like that's what it was, and I didn't need to be that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I being harsh? I'm
I don't
trying.
know.
I'm
I mean,
not trying to be.
I kind of looked at it as like she's not used to normal, and like as exaggerated as that normal party was, I feel like it was like an establishing thing to kind of like make her to because like within that whole party scene, I kind of got like she really cares about this girl, right? She really
Yeah.
does. She really does care about this girl, but the whole scenery of normal isn't is very uncomforting for her, right? And then it flashes back and it kind of gives you like little flashbacks of her adopted parents, and then it talks about Lobo being her biological dad, and then how Lobo is off killing Zarnians, and like you know what I mean. Like I kind of feel like that. I hope it plays out because I feel like it would because they don't really talk about what happened other than like the gas, right? So they don't really talk about maybe the gas will have an effect on something later on going forward. Like I'm trying to stick. I'll stick to it like for a couple issues, but
Yeah.
but like with Lobo being involved, I hope Lobo will be involved more in the other characters because I'll be honest. While Crush is an interesting enough character for me to like want to like find out more about her story, let's be real here. I'm here for Lobo.
Yeah,
Like,
I wanted to see more of the dynamic between the two.
yeah,
That's
and this is
what
good
I
because
was expecting.
but it's gonna be a therapy session now, which is gonna be even better because it's just gonna be these two letting out their feelings or lack thereof.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, look, I think that I don't know why. It's just the beginning of the book. I feel like it would have almost been better watching her try to go on a first date with somebody than a fucking part. I don't know, than a party. Like, and then you get the nervousness inside her, like, oh man, like I'm trying to be normal, but I'm a fucking alien that's rageful, full of rage, just like my fucking father, right? My biological father. I think that would have served better. I just think that like all of those like, because who is this girl? Where the fuck did she come from? There's no backstory. We're literally just thrown to this girl. Like, how long has she been in this relationship? What's the deal with this? So that to me, it was just an odd choice to start a fucking book off like that for
Yeah,
somebody that doesn't know Crush. Yeah, you're getting her inner dialogue, so you're kind of getting a feel for who she is that way. But it just felt Like I'm telling you, the best scenes for me were the second half of the book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's just how I feel. I think Mariko Tamaki is a great writer. You know, don't get me wrong. I like her. I think the art on the book was really good. I just I wish that I liked this first issue more because I was expecting to kind of be pleasantly surprised in much the same way we were with Mr. Miracle last week, and it did not have that same effect. Although I cannot describe my joy for that last page with Lobo and the fucking cigar in his mouth and that smile. That kind of sealed the deal to where I'm like, okay, I'll read the next issue. You know, that's what. But again, that's also like I love Lobo, so like that's really why I picked the book up, and I wanted to see more of the crushed Lobo dynamic because I liked her. I liked her character when she was introduced in Teen Titans I think Adam Glass did a few years ago. So 7.5 or 8, I don't know.
I give
teetering.
it a hard 8.
Okay.
It's a hard 8.
Okay, yeah, I'm like in between. Like I want to give it an 8, but then I'm like I'm kind of leaning more towards that. But it's a good book. It's just not, in my opinion, it was not my favorite. That's all I have on it.
All right, so let's worst dudes. Yeah.
It's by 2 comic reprobates.
By the comic. Well, actually, 3 comic retrobates because Tyler Esposito is a comic retrobate as well.
That's right. He is.
I got back on Twitter, and he's one of the first creators that got back that actually responded to me because he was like, I was like, I'm here strictly for Chip Zdarsky and
Gail Simone and Mitch Gerads.
Yeah. And right, like, and he responded, it's like, I've had some gold. It's like, I'm here for your shenanigans as well, Taylor. All right, don't worry about it, Taylor. We got you. I see you.
Let me read the credits real quick. So Aubrey Sitterson is the writer. Tony Gregory is the artist. Laverne Kinzernsky is the colorist, and Taylor Esposito is the letterer. This book was it was interesting. I messaged you yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, I forgot to bring the book home. And it's mostly because, like I said, we're doing a signature series, so all of the copies that we ordered went through Pasadena first to get signed by Aubrey. So we didn't get them till Wednesday. And since the power was out, it threw my whole fucking day off. And I forgot to bring the book home with me. But luckily, I get the PDFs from Dark Horse. So I had messaged you, I couldn't read it. And you're like, it's all good. And I'm like, wait a second. And then I found it, and I'm glad I read it. Because this is it's fucking blood, dude. It's such a weird book. It was funny, but like I don't even know how to describe this to you. Like, how do I recommend this? What do I compare it to? I don't know. Other than it's a fun book. It is a fun book.
It's a sci-fi Wild West romp through space and like absolute degenerates for characters.
They're just all scumbags.
They're all so scummy, dude. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine because
I enjoyed it. I want to read that. Like,
yeah, no.
I'm gonna bring the print home now, as I want, like, you know, like it's hard doing this, right? Looking on my phone and and scrolling. So you know, and then I'm like having to like zoom in and shit to like the panel so I can read it. But I wanted to make sure I didn't want to not read the book, and I liked it, dude. I mean, Aubrey Sitterson kind of like won me over as a writer with No One Left to Fight. I've never read his stuff before, but he did a signature series before we actually called it signature series at the shop, and I was there when issue 1 released. I talked to him real quick, and I dug that book. So I was like, I'll check, and he's got a lot of stuff coming out, dude. He's got a couple more Dark Horse stuff. You know, like he is just pumping this stuff out, and I mean, I'm here for all of it now because I think he's got a unique voice in comics. He's got a fucking really funny sense of humor in terms of like the way he writes his dialogue. Like it feels very there's moments, there's certain things that are said that I could see myself saying in a room with my friends or something, you know, when I'm talking shit or I'm bullshitting.
Yeah, so shooting the shit. A lot of shooting the shit.
He really that well, and I love the art. I really like Tony Gregory's art, dude. I think it. I've never seen his art before, but I really dug it. I thought it was really really well put together comic from all around. The coloring, the art, the writing, and the lettering.
The characters, just absolute ridiculousness. The big cat,
The
Sam.
big cat is my favorite.
Yeah.
Maybe that says something about me. I don't know. But he was the fucking...
It's a flashback to younger days.
Such a dude. He's such a douchebag, dude. He's such a fucking piece of shit, but I really enjoyed him. And then the main character, Sam, yeah. I love... There's this scene where he's talking... What's... The character's name is Yulankin or something? Or Yulikin?
Yeah, Yulukan.
Yulikan? Okay. And sitting there and like... is it a woman or a man? I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's a man, but it looks like the head looks like a woman. But what it's neither here nor there.
It's very ambiguous.
Yeah, it's a fucking alien and it twisting its nipples and shit as it's talking to Sam, and I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at right now? But I really like. I mean, Sam is a really interesting character. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like a bounty hunter. He's not a bounty hunter. He's a
cop.
Right?
He's a cop, but apparently he's like a dirty cop. But like, he still gets the job done, I guess. But like, and then he's also loyal to the queen. So I don't know. But
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and like, as far as world building goes, it just kind of establishes that where you are is in like the armpit part of the universe where everyone's just kind of shitty.
Like, yeah, and I feel like the most at least from what I took from it is that the whole point of this first issue is to basically set up what this case they're on is, and I could only assume that we're gonna get more backstory going forward. I feel like that's kind of like how No One Left to Fight was. You're kind of just thrust into this world, and then you slowly learn about the past of the characters. And you know, they're going after this fucking like, what is she like? She's kind of like a pop star, and there's a sex tape out or sex photos, and then the big cat Caligula Monomacho.
His name is Caligula
Monomacho. Yeah. So
first off, Caligula.
I know. It's fucking book, dude. It's so crazy. So they're, you know, like, and then the brother of the pop star, because Zephyr, he's like with Sam on this case, and they're going to get Caligula, and this is just like, when they say this is by a couple comic reprobates, like, it's clear to see why. This book is just full of there's vulgarity, but it's done it's like charming vulgarity. You know?
Yeah.
It's not it's not so vulgar that you're like repulsed by it, but I just think it's a fun book. I don't even know, it's hard for me to like really like analyze it further other than just to say that I think it was a really fun book. I think it's worth checking out. The art was really good. The characters are all really good too.
Yeah, when I read Caligula's what do you call caption boxes, for some reason I hear Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Like, oh
yeah. So if they make the movie or the animated series, Seth Rogen needs to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he has that low laugh, like. Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. That's enough Seth Rogen laughing. Now we just sound like idiots. But yeah, I think it's an interesting book to say the least, dude. You know, it really is.
I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it, because like, there's a lot of space. There's a lot of space comics out right now that's way too serious, way too deep, way too existential. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, we only see them when we're dead, and Ascender, and like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, fantastic books. Don't get me wrong, but you know, there's this thing with science fiction, especially like that take place in space, where it's just like super deep, super serious, and there's not enough breathing room for you to, you know, like actually enjoy the fact that it's in space. But this, I feel like with this, since they know it's in space, and they don't take themselves seriously to that degree, that you can just have fun with it. In space, you could have an almost limitless amount of characters with just the absolute most ridiculous backgrounds, ridiculous like tropes, like you know what I mean. You can really have a lot of fun with space if you execute it well, and I think that this so far is executing it well.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, Aubrey Sitterson's writing is just every book that I've read from him, it's just fun, and that's something that I think can be missing sometimes on the stands for comic books. Like, you don't have very many books like this that aren't taking themselves too seriously, that are just like, you jump into the book and it's just a fun, wild romp. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this book is. And I just makes me more excited to read the next issue to further see this world fleshed out and to see what else he's got, because he's got another book. I forgot the name of it, but it's like, I think it's like a romantic comedy set with like cavemen. I think I could be completely wrong with this.
A rom-com with cavemen.
Yeah, I think that's what the book is. I think that's what it is. I probably should have done the research before I fucking jumped on here and started talking about it. But, he's doing signature series with all of his books with us. If you want a break from the monotony of, like, superhero stuff or the seriousness of stuff, like, this is the book that you should be checking out.
Yeah. This is like Scumbag to me. Like, Scumbag to me is very much... There needs to be a lot more books that just, like to have fun. And especially, like, adult humor. Like, you know what I mean? Like... This is obviously from the final pages of this. It's like you can tell that Cal is about to be a drug-infused freaking
dude,
mess.
The scene where he's just fucking like snorting all these alien drugs and like the fucking I forgot about that. That page is so dope. That was this is just look at him. He's just like this overweight fucking scumbag, drug snorting fucking hooker fucking sleeping with, I mean, just like, it's just, I really dug the book. I mean, this is an 8 to me. While I did enjoy the book, I do wish that we kind of learned a little bit more about the characters. But, this is, it doesn't mean it's not good because we didn't learn and that we're learning later. So I dug the book. I recommend it. Real quick, you mentioned Scumbag by Rick Remender. So shout out to Deadly Class this week, which we're not talking about because that book was fucking so amazing.
I didn't read it. It's in my pile. I have it. I'm so I was going to save it. I wanted to read our stuff first. Dude. But yeah.
It was really good. Also, real quick shout out before we get into our last book, Immortal Hulk 47 was my second favorite book this week. That book was amazing, and I'm sad Al Ewing is off the book after Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley. I'm very, very like, not judgmental, but I'm very critical of Donny Cates and the stuff that he does. Yeah. But at the same time, I think that he could do a cool Hulk if he's just doing like this bombastic like thing. Like, it seems like it's tailor-made for him. And Ryan Ottley, I am here for him drawing the Hulk book. Like, he is.
That preview cover.
Yeah,
is amazing.
And then Al Ewing, Rom V, and Brian Hitch on Venom. Dude, yeah, there's some interesting stuff coming out. Other day,
like this new wave of like creators from like all from all sides of the spectrum, whether it be Image, whether it be DC, whether it be Marvel. Like, this new wave of writers, dude, they are something special, and I'm glad I'm here for it. What a time to be alive, dude. Like, I think more times in the past couple of weeks I'm saying, oh, this is one of my new favorite writers. Oh, this is one of my new favorite artists. Oh, this is one of my new favorite colorists. Oh, this is one of my new favorites. Like, I have a lot of new favorites, and I haven't been able, like, the consistency of me saying that hasn't been like that since 2007, 8, 9. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many good people, like, and the thing is, they're not bound to these restrictions where they only have to write for DC, they only have to write for Marvel, they only have to, and they're only working with Image. Like Ron V is like all over the spectrum right now. He has his hands in all three. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, same thing with Donny Cates. Donny Cates is, I mean, he's not doing any DC stuff, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? Same thing with
eventually down the line.
And then like Al Ewing and then Chris Cantwell, and like, there's just so many new writers that I'm just here for. Benjamin Percy, I like. He's like one of my new favorite writers of like all time right now. And I didn't hear about him until he did that long night with that long night Wolverine story. You know what I mean?
He did a great Green Arrow run when Rebirth started.
Yeah,
that I
see,
really
like,
enjoyed.
and like this whole new wave, and he's finally getting shine, right? And that was Rebirth, right?
Mm.
But like, I'm really loving a lot of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And
Speaking
perfect
of that,
segue,
yeah.
perfect
Speaking of
segue.
that, James Tynion, he's got his hands all over the place. He's got an
Yeah,
Image book. He's got a Boom book. He's got multiple DC books. I think he's got another hit on his hands with The Nice House on the Lake. That book, this book, was my favorite book this week. I read it when I brought it home on Monday, and I was so tired that I feel like I just kind of I over it, right? Like I was just looking at words. So like I told you before we were hit the record, I read it again, and man, did this book benefit from me reading it again? Because like I totally would not have even like known what to talk about if I didn't read it again. It all left my head. Let me read the credits, and then we will dive into this. So James Tynion is the writer, obviously. We have Alvaro Martinez Bueno is the artist. Jordi Belair is the color, and
Jodie Belair is also another name that like I
another
love.
colorist. Yeah,
As
she
another like
also writes. She
yeah,
also writes as well.
like
So
Jodie Belair is fantastic. I know we give a lot of credit to Matt Wilson and Rico Renzi and a bunch of other colorists, but I feel like Jodie Belair fantastic too. I mean, Jodie Belair also works a lot with what's her name too, with
Tamara
Thomas
Bonvillain,
Bonvillain and
Sophie Dodgson is really
Sophie
good.
Dodson. Yeah, Sophie. Oh, Sophie Dodson's really good too. Like, oh man, this is just so many colorists. I feel like
This book, amazing colors, amazing art, and amazing writing.
yeah,
I
knocked it out of
was
the park.
kind of I was kind of critical of James Tynion's Batman run in the beginning to where I wasn't really enjoying it at all, after Tom King left the book. But post Joker War is where I really started enjoying the story aspect. Now the art was good from his run from the beginning with Guillaume March and Jorge Jimenez, but then he also writes Something's Killing the Children at Boom. He has Department of Truth, which I was kind of, I didn't really dig Department of Truth that much. I didn't dislike the book, but to me it just felt really wordy. This does not feel
I
that
really
way.
like something. I really like Something Is Killing the
I
Children.
have I brought Volume 1 home. I just haven't read it yet. So
So okay, so Volume 1 is really good. Volume 2 is okay, but then Volume 3, when it closes everything out, fantastic, fantastic.
okay.
Like it's
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, it's on my pile. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I don't know what I'm saving it for. I probably gonna binge all three once Volume 3 comes out. But this book was so dope. So you open the pages with one of the main characters, and she's got fucking bandage wrapped around her head. The world is in flames behind her, and she's explaining to us, as the reader, what's been going on, right?
Yeah,
And dude, I'm telling you, it's
it starts off with the email. Essentially, it starts off with the
yeah,
email, right? And I have no idea what we were getting into with this. Like,
me either.
I thought it was gonna be like murder mystery at the house, right? I mean, like a nice house at the lake. You look
That's
at the
what I
cover,
thought.
there's a bunch of bones. Like, you don't know what the hell's going on in here. I don't know what the hell's going on in here. But the way it pans out is certainly not what I was expecting, right?
Yeah, not at all.
What I liked about this, okay, so apparently, it's a group of friends or a group of people who all somewhat know each other either directly or secondhand through the person who's all gathered them at this house at the lake. Now, when they say it's a nice house in the lake, we're talking about it is the nicest house in the lake. It is suitable for about 15 people. It's one of the most largest lakes I've ever seen. They got like everything you could ever want. There's like a piano. There's like 3, 4, 5, like 6-person couches. There's like this old hooked up kitchen. It is like the dream. It is like a modernist dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about like multi-tiered freaking patio, like just what you could ever want, right? What you could always want. And what I really like about this is that everyone that's gathered here is given a nickname, right? Given a code name or
Right.
your mutant name
A code name and a symbol.
and a
Because if
symbol,
you look at the
right?
cover, there's all those symbols underneath the title as
Yeah.
well.
And once you get introduced to these characters, you're given an automatic, like a basic. brief description of their characters and when they were first met by the guy, Walter, right?
Walter, right?
Yeah, Walter is the guy that gathered them, and like Walter's obviously been curating these friends of his for years because some of it says 18 years ago, some of it says 14
crazy.
years ago,
9,
some
13,
of it says like 9
all of
or
it's
1
different.
year ago, like chosen, like, you know what I mean? Like these, so you could obviously tell that there's been some obvious planning. Now going into it, I thought like this is gonna be like some freaking like survival of the fittest Hunger Games shit. You know what I mean?
I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really read the solicit for this, to be honest with you, because I wasn't technically thinking that I was gonna pick this up with the first issue. I thought maybe I'll read the trade when it comes out, you know?
Yeah.
But then I saw it at work, and I'm like, fuck, we should talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down to check out a new horror book, and it completely subverted my expectations of what I thought I was gonna get. And what I really love it, and you skipped over, is when Walter first meets Ryan, the artist, right, who he dubs the artist. He asks her, "How do you think the world will end?" Yeah. And that is so important to the story, because like I can only imagine he did this with everybody else, right? Because he asks her and she describes what she thinks would happen, right, if the world were to end, and how like America won't last forever because nothing lasts forever, and that but then you'll look back 1,000 years and it's like it'll just be another blip, right? And so that's how everybody is connected. And I hope. Well, I guess we don't really need to technically see what they said also, but like you have to imagine like Walter had this same conversation with everybody, and he's kept up these conversations over the years through texting, right? He would text her every once in a while. Oh, that conversation. She would hang out with him. They would watch movies. So he's been nurturing these relationships for years, like you said, sometimes 13, 9, whatever, however many years, right?
Yeah.
And I do think it's a little thing that I noticed is like when she walks up to this house on the lake, she's wearing a mask, and then one of the other people, Nora, like takes her temp. So it kind of leads me to believe like this is like post coronavirus. I'm assuming, right? Like the world is dealing with this.
It's set in 2021 because what do you call it? On the emails? It's on the first email where Walter sends it initially to everybody. It's dated February 8th, 2021.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice the date. That's my birthday.
Hey, it's me and Jackie's anniversary too.
Yeah, so I do like that aspect that it feels very now. It feels very current because of that. With the whole, I didn't see the date, but like now it makes sense. I just glanced over. When they have stuff like that, text messages and emails, I never look at the dates. I just always look at the body of the email or whatever, so that I can see what he's trying to tell us. But as they're gathering, like you said, it's the perfect house. Like one of them even said, "This is like heaven. Like I don't ever need to leave," and that's perfect because when our boy Walter comes and he like starts talking to them, we go to another email that he sent to Ryan. And this is, now I'm looking at it, is a few months later. "Oh, I'm so glad you're coming, da 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 da." And we go to the evening, and Ryan is sitting off by herself.
Mm-hmm.
And her reaction to what she's looking at, and you flip the page, New York is on fire. It is burnt.
It's literally just a series of tweets.
Yeah, and it's crazy, dude. Like you're seeing people fucking like melting eyeballs, fucking like, so there's all sorts of things, which is why I said like, so basically everything that everybody said to Walter for their things of how they think the world will end, that's all taking place. Yeah. This is what I'm taking from it, I'm assuming everybody's going to take that from it, but it's just I don't even think we should say what happens next.
No,
because like that is I think that's enough spoilers. Yeah. But what happens next, bro? Like Walter, like what happens? Like I was like, what the fuck? That's where the book sold me, and that's why it, like, once I saw that turn, I'm like, this is the best book this week.
No, that's what sold it to me too. Like once it really got to like the whole, okay, this is what's happening. This is once it reveals the big explosion, so to speak. I'm like, wow, what is gonna happen next? Like this is how you write. This is how you set up like a good horror thriller. You bombard it with you don't bombard people with information, but you give people enough to draw them in, to pull them into the pit. And when you have them into the pit, that's when you fucking set the whole shit on fire.
Yeah.
And he did. This is fantastic stuff. This is really, really good horror. This is really good.
I mean, and he like, I don't want to say apprentice, but like he kind of did like under Scott Snyder's tutelage. And Scott Snyder is another great horror writer. James Tynion, I think, at his best, is really good with horror, which is why I think like his current Batman arc with Scarecrow makes complete sense. Yeah. It makes complete sense for that to be like a really major focal point for the villainy. And then, you know, he has Something Is Killing Me, another horror book. He did a book called The Woods. He has a horror magazine that you can subscribe to, I think, through his website, but it's not in shops. And I always miss out when it's coming out. But he's just, this already is like one of my favorite books he's written.
Easy.
I think it's his best right now being published of all the stuff I've written or that I've read. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this book to everybody. I can't wait to talk to people at the shop that come in today, and especially since we didn't have many people yesterday because of the blackout. And I'll hand sell the shit out of this book, dude. It's really, really strong writing, amazing art, both on you know, like the illustration side and the colorist side. I'm so excited to read it. This is going on my polls. It wasn't on my polls before, but this is getting added to the polls because I'm here for this book. That's all I got.
That's all
you
want
to talk real quick what we're going to read next week?
I mean, obviously, Heroes Reborn 6.
Oh, 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton.
Okay, I saw that too. Okay.
The art looks really dope in that book, so I'm looking for a surprise. I'm also not reading the solicit, so I think that maybe that would be good. I mean, are you down to read X-Men? It's part of the Hellfire Gala, which, by the way, was really dope this week. I read all.
I'm behind. Like, I'm so behind on all X everything. Okay. But I mean, I'll catch up just on X-Men. I think I just gotta read like 5 issues.
You just do all Marvel? Do you want to talk Iron Man?
Oh hell yeah!
We were supposed to do that I think a month ago or something. X-Men should be cool too because this is the debut of the actual new team.
Okay, cool. I'm with it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well,
yeah.
That's all I got for today. Those are the books we're reading next week. Hope you guys check out the books we talked about this week. They're all good, all worth your time. Pick up. And if you're not already following us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Comic Lounge. You can follow Dylan at The Dillbot on Instagram. I don't know what it is on Twitter yet because you're back on Twitter.
Dillbot is dope.
Okay, Dillbot is dope on Twitter.
I couldn't think of one. I was like,
I like
Dillbot is dope.
Yeah, I like it. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new video goes up. And on that note, we're out.
Later, buds.